Hello everyone, welcome to this lesson about some essential Charlie Parker licks for minor chords, coming right up. This lesson will be about some licks that I've transcribed from Charlie Parker that he plays on his own composition called Segment. And the Segment is a lesser played standard by Charlie Parker, and it's basically the A parts. It's two chords, but you could think only a minor chord. It's B flat minor, F7, but you could think B flat minor. So it's kind of a modal tune. The B part is a bunch of 2-5-1s, but I looked at the A parts and I transcribed the licks that I thought that were special or really captured that essence of Charlie Parker's playing with all the twists and turns and the triplets. And I placed them on the guitar neck according to my fretboard system, the Van Hemert system. If you're not familiar with it, I will be referring to the system, but I'm not going to explain it. I made a video explaining it, several videos in fact, but I will link the latest one below the video. So check it out if you are curious about my fretboard visualization system, which I call the Van Hemert system. So I have, I think, 6 licks, 6 phrases that are in various positions in my system, and I have a little backing track, which is just a loop from one of the backing tracks on my channel. The backing track for I Remember April. I will also link that, and I just took the G minor 4 bars and I looped them. Actually, I looped 3 bars, and then I put that on 80% of the speed. So you could use that backing track to practice these phrases, either make a loop or just play on those 4 G minor bars. So let's just take a look at the phrases I have for you. And I know it's really small on the screen, but if you want the bigger version, you can always download the tabs from my Patreon page, and there's a link to that also below the video. Okay, so this is the first phrase. It's a very stylish little phrase that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 3, 4. Three, 4. And now I was kind of holding the D to let it ring, but you could also play it without the ringing. I like the. So you get this. Or. Sorry. And it ends on the 6, an E. So there's a G minor arpeggio right there, so to continue your line if you want. So let's play that with the backing track, and I will play this phrase and maybe improvise a little bit, and then play the phrase maybe a couple of times. Really nice, not too difficult, and for the gypsy jazz pickers, what I like to do is have a downstroke on that first, what is it? On the first B flat and on the A. So you got a double down. Okay, let's go to the second phrase. A little bit of a bluesy phrase. It goes to the flat fifth of G minor, the C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I like to slide. Charlie Parker does that too, but on the saxophone it's a little bit of a different effect, but it's the same kind of bluesy feeling. So right, if you play some bluesy G minor stuff, I feel it's kind of that feeling. So let me play this a little bit with a backing track. There's no counting for the backing track, it just starts immediately. Sorry. Nice. Next one, third one. Oh, this is a very easy one. And also, again, with that flat 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. It's kind of quoting Lullaby of Birdland, right? That part. So then you're on F sharp, so you could immediately play some kind of D7 phrase. Goes well together with the previous one, I think. I mean, they all go well together because it's all G minor, of course. Let me play this with the backing track. I started with the previous phrase, but I mean, these phrases all work well together. I played it in the middle, and this phrase particularly is nice to vary the rhythms, right? You don't have to play every time. You could play, right? It's more about these notes, the combination of these notes. Okay, next one. Fourth one. Here we go. This actually he plays on the turnaround before his solo. And there's two extra notes in the step because in the tab it says 3, 4, 1. But these two notes he actually doesn't play. He just ends on this. Well, it's in B flat, so then he would end on a B, but in G minor on an A flat, because then the chord is actually D7. But you can play this on G minor if you just resolve it, or up, right? Or down. 3, 4, 1. Let me play this with the backing track. So I now noticed, so it's always with these Charlie Parker licks that you have to really kind of articulate the triplets. If you don't do that, it sounds sloppy like I just did. 3, 4, ta-ta-ta. Let's try it again. Better. Very cool phrase. Let's go to the fifth one. 2 more. This is kind of a tricky one to play on guitar. Let me play it slowly. 3, 4, 1. Oh, that's an A minor. Sorry, in G minor. 3, and again. So I didn't mention. Let's go through all the phrases for the Van Hemert system. So the first one. What was the first one again? Let me check. First one, oh yeah, this one. So this is in the 5th position of G minor on the A string, right? There's a D right here. Again, if you don't know what the Van Hemert system is, you can check the video I made about it. It's linked in the description. The second lick would be for me, actually, this is not really part of the Van Hemert system, but I do have, I mentioned that in another video. I like to play G minor from a position where I have my, like this kind of arpeggio. Right, this is something I really use for 2-5-1s or for bluesy things. And in this kind of shape is this arpeggio. I would actually think for myself kind of C7 even. Right, the first position of C7. Because for me C7 and G minor are very close. I would also play it on C7. So you could either think from this shape, this G minor shape, G minor 11, G minor 9, 11, or you could think of it as C7. Okay, and then the third phrase, oh, that's basically in the 3rd position of G minor, right? Because there's a B flat right there. And then the 4th phrase would be again on the 5th position of G minor, 5th position on the A string. Very easy to find for me, right? Let's say I want to play it in B flat minor, then I go to the 5th position of B flat minor, which is in F. Okay, now the phrase where we ended up, the 5th phrase, this would be for me in the first position of G minor on the A string. 3, 4, 1. Three, 4, 1. So again, this triplet, you have to articulate it, which is pretty hard to do in this particular phrase when it's fast, I've noticed. Maybe you have to end with a downstroke to get a double down. I think that's better. 3, 4, 1. play that with the backing track. 3. See, the triplets is difficult. That's good. Yeah, the triplet is tricky. I have to still work on it, especially inside that phrase. I end with an upstroke, so there's a sweep there. Maybe I have to focus on the sweep. Oh, that's better. Let's try it again with the backing track. Okay. Tricky line. Okay, then the last phrase, number 6, also quite tricky. Again, there's a tricky triplet in the end. Let me play it slowly. 1. So this phrase would be for me in the 3rd position of G minor. 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's typical Charlie Parker with all the twists and turns at the end. You think that the line's going to end, but then he plays some notes, and then you think it's going to end now, and then he plays some more notes, and they all end on very sweet, on sweet notes, right? So the ending, for instance, right, it ends on the 6. Lovely sound and typical Charlie Parker, also typical gypsy jazz. And these kind of phrases don't only fit on G minor 6, right? They also fit on G minor 7, as long as the minor chord has a kind of a 1 feel, or 1 or a 4 feel. So I wouldn't be playing these phrases on the 2 chord of a 2-5-1. They're basically also very long. So it's more on tunes where you have a minor feeling going for a longer time. For example, I remember April, those 4 bars. It really feels like we're in G minor there. So, or of course a modal tune like So What, or any other modal tune where you have a long stretch of minor chords. These phrases are all great to play. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play it with the backing track. The triplet again. Now let's improvise a little bit and just let's see which phrases I can place in my solo. I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to play in G minor, and then when my hand ends up in the right position for a phrase, I'll try and play it. like that. So I would say take a backing track, or you could find another backing track on YouTube. There are many. I can't use them in my videos because of copyright issues, but just find a backing track in minor. It could be a swing track or even a groovy track, and just play these phrases in many different keys, and then try fitting your own phrases in between the phrases and try to find a natural way to land on these Parker phrases. I hope you'll enjoy it, and I will be back soon with another video. Oh yeah, and before I forget, please like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye!